Right, so 3 essential habits that rewired my mindset and changed everything for the better. Now, I actually believe in myself. When I set a goal, I 100% know that I can achieve it if I'm willing to put in the work. And if I don't, die or something else happens, right? So you might think, oh, mindset's not actually that important. Well, before we get into 3 habits, let me just say this. Your mindset can make or break you. If you don't believe you can do something, you won't try it. Like, think about it. You have this goal, but you don't believe you can do it. Are you going to start that goal? No, because you're going to be held back by all these limiting beliefs, right? So if you want to achieve your goals and even your bigger dreams, you need a locked-in mindset. That's the only way you can do it. It's the only way you can achieve your goals. So these 3 habits, let's get into them. So the first habit is reading. Now, I don't actually read as much as I used to, but especially when I was starting self-improvement, when I was 15, 16, I always say 14 because I keep forgetting I'm 17, but I started self-improvement 2 years ago. That's besides the point. But 15, 16, I was reading a lot, and some of the books that really helped me was like, even some classics, honestly. Think and Grow Rich, I read that one. That didn't actually help me that much, but it is like about mindset and stuff. The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. That one really helped me a lot. It's like, You Can If You Think You Can. Just a bunch of other self-improvement books all really helped me. And so honestly, the benefits of just reading opens your mind, and this doesn't really make sense how I wrote it, but it really just opens your mind and helps you realize what you're actually capable of, right? Especially like books around mindset and stuff. Sometimes that's really important. So if you have like limiting beliefs, or you just think that other people are more successful because they were born with it, or they just have the right time in the right place or whatever, read some of those books, right? Some other benefits are you can learn from people ahead of you if you're trying to learn something specific, of course. And then you can also deep dive into what interests you. If you already know what you're interested in, if you already know what you're passionate in, then you can find books on that specific topic. All these benefits, all these things in reading can really help you build a stronger mindset, a more confident mindset, which is what you need and which is what you want. Because if you don't have confidence in yourself, how are you going to achieve your goals? You're not going to believe in your dreams. You're just going to believe whatever everyone else tells you. Oh, you're dreaming too big. Oh, you won't be able to do that. You don't have enough money. Oh, you'll never be able to make that much money. Or you'll never have that relationship. You can't believe that, because if you have an actual good locked-in mindset, you won't believe that for good reasons, and you will probably achieve your goals if you put in the work. So the second habit is journaling. Now, I also just made a video recently about this, I believe. But journaling is actually really helping. I don't journal like a ton. I know some people like journal every single day. They reflect on their days. I journal about like once every week. And actually lately it's been more once every 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. Even today I was like, oh, I should journal. And I still didn't get around to doing it. Maybe I will tonight. But there's a bunch of benefits to journaling, of course. You know, a main one, I think, is figuring out what you want in life. And journaling can really help with that, because, you can do a bunch of reflection. You can just write out your thoughts. No one else is going to read it. So, you can be completely open and completely honest about yourself, right? And I think figuring out what you want in life is really important, especially for building a stronger mindset, because you need some goals, some dreams, some purpose in order to want to build a stronger mindset so that you achieve those things, if that makes sense, right? And so I think you need to figure out what you want to do in life, what you want out of life. I'm not talking like specifically work, just your overall purpose, I guess. But journaling can help with that, and that'll just make your mindset better anyway, once you figure out that. But you can figure that out through journaling. I feel like none of that really made sense, but whatever. Some other benefits of journaling. You can always just ask me questions in the comments. Like, sometimes I'm not the best at like speaking about certain things. I need to get better at this myself. That's why I always say keep improving at the end of all my videos. Um, I need to get better at just explaining like what I mean. Um, so if you have any questions about any of my videos and stuff, just like comment them down below and I will respond. So anyway, the second benefit I wrote down here was just you can learn from your mistakes. Like I said, journaling is personal, so write down everything. Like, write down what's actually happening in your life. It doesn't matter how deep it is or how much you don't really want to write about it. It's like you should get it out. Right? You should get it out, and you should learn from all your mistakes. And in my last point, you should reflect on also what you've accomplished. Right? Don't overlook all the little things, even if you didn't realize it. Like, you've probably accomplished way more than you think. Even if you're not that old. Um, there's probably more that you've done than you give yourself credit for. Anyway, this video is already getting a little long, sorry. But the third habit would be setting goals, or is setting goals, not would be. This one really helped me. I've been setting goals, different types of goals, for very long. Basically, since I started self-improvement, I found out just about goal setting in general. Of course, I knew what a goal was, but like I never really thought that I should actually write down, what I want to achieve and actually try to achieve those things and check the boxes, right? But there's a bunch of benefits to this. You can see your progress, which can increase your self-confidence. Right, that's super important. It's kind of like a habit tracker as well. If you fill in all the habits, then you see like I've done it all those times. Sure, I messed up a couple days, but like look at how many times I've done it. And so if you track your progress of goals, see how many goals you've actually accomplished, and that's really beneficial. Of course, also setting goals can help you push out of your comfort zone, push yourself further and what? Push yourself further and out of your comfort zone. That's what I wrote. Sorry, I was getting mixed up on my words. But basically, you know, if you want to build a strong mindset, you're going to have to do some things that a weak mindset wouldn't do, if that makes sense. But like, you have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to do some new things. You have to improve yourself, even if that means doing things you're uncomfortable with, right? That's one of the benefits of setting goals. Another one is it gives your life direction and purpose. And I don't think that there's a specific age that you need to figure out your purpose. Maybe you won't figure out your purpose and people after you will figure out what your purpose was. Who knows? But you need some direction. And I think once you find some direction and some sense of what you want to do, then that will really just help boost your confidence when making decisions and stuff because you know what you actually want. And you just need to lock in, have that self-belief, and take action and pursue that direction, pursue that purpose, pursue those dreams, right? So those are 3 essential habits that I have personally done all of these and I continue to do all of them. I've been reading a little bit less, like I said, but it has really helped me. And I do, if you don't read, like actually just try it. You don't have to read a ton. Just read like a book a month or something. Um, Journaling and setting goals. Setting goals has been very useful to me. You know, do I finish more than 50% of my goals? I haven't actually counted. I hope so. But either way, it doesn't really matter if you have 5 goals on a piece of paper and you only finish one. Because something about goal setting, when you see that one that you finished, like you're happy about that. It's weird because you think that, you see the 4 that are unfinished. But no, you usually see the check mark and you're like, yo, at least I finished that, right? Or at least maybe that's just my opinion. Everyone else is like, what? No, I feel like I failed if I didn't. Whatever, that's another topic for another video. But either way, these 3 habits, I highly suggest you actually start doing them. So, and by the way, you can start these today, all right? So I just put here, what action are you going to take after this video? Because this was completely a waste of your time if you're not going to take action, if you're not going to actually try to improve yourself after learning what you just learned. So, maybe pick up a new book, maybe start journaling, maybe figure out and set some goals, or even think of some other habits that would help you build a stronger mindset. There's many more. There's many more things, right? And of course, shameless self-plug here, join the free self-improvement community. This is the absolute best self-improvement community in the world. Not quite sure about that, but I am 100% confident that it could become the best self-improvement community in the world. Okay, anyway, but if you want to improve yourself, you need to be around others trying to improve themselves. It's that simple. Links in the description. With that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope that you found it valuable, that you learned something, or at least realized something that maybe changed your mindset a little bit. And yeah, that being said, I hope to see you in the next one. And as always, you are capable. Keep improving.